Hello, everyone. Welcome back. This is a live recording of a 50-minute full body flexibility practice. So find a bolster or a pillow of some kind if you're able to do so, a little bit of space to move, and let's get started. To find your way onto your back if you haven't done so already. You're going to lay on top of something. Add it in. Maybe make a diamond shape with your legs. Or just have everything out long, arms out wide, palms facing up. Closing your eyes. Feel your back pressing into your mat or your pillow. Feel your belly get a little softer. You feel your chest expand a little with the next breath you take. And then see if you can just find some stillness throughout your entire body. Resist the urge to wiggle your fingers or scratch your nose. Just see if your body can relax a little bit more in the position that you have placed it in. Maybe forget about your body for a second and just take a slower, deeper breath in. And let it go. Do that again. A deep inhale. And a deep exhale. That one more time. Fill your body up and then let it all go. And stay here for a little bit longer. Maybe you need to make some adjustments. Maybe you need to wiggle your fingers or scratch your nose. You can do that, or you can stay nice and still. Stay here for another breath or two. Or maybe a few extra. You can start to move again. If you were laying nice and still there, start to wiggle your fingers, your toes maybe. Eventually bringing your knees together, your feet to your mat. And if you're laying on top of something, we can take it out, just slide it off to the side for now. Lay on your back, flat on your back. Maybe walking your feet a little closer towards your hips, nice long spine. You can add a gentle rock side to side if you want to, or just be still. Maybe your heels are lifted up to help the low back stay down. We will be taking our left hand, sliding it underneath our back, kind of our side. So let your palm face down. Bring your elbow out to the side a little bit. And maybe you can slide your fingertips or your entire hand just under the side of your back. So your elbow is pointing out to the side. You might start to feel your left arm and shoulder. If you want a little less, you could bring your hand a little closer towards the hip. If you want more, you might bring your hand up towards your shoulder, somewhere in between. And then you can stay here flat on your back with your knees pointing up. You could also start to let the knees fall over towards the left. Move slow here. If you're letting your knees tip over to the side, to go even further than this, you might start to roll onto your left side more, only if your left arm, is feeling good. Check in with your hand, your elbow, your shoulder. Find that place where you're feeling something good. Stay there for a moment. And then you can slowly start to make your way back. The right shoulder's lifted. Bring that back down first. If your knees are on that left side, slowly lift them. Keep your hand under your back for a little bit longer. Laying flat on your back though, elbow out to the side. Maybe you can even spread the fingers a little bit wider under your back. You could arch your back just a little so that you've got some space to move your fingers out wide. And then slowly take your hand out from underneath your back. You might just reach your left arm out to the side a little. Maybe let your palm face up. Let the left arm be still, or if you want to move, you might take some shoulder rolls, maybe some rocks with the knees side to side. Your back is still arching and lifting a little bit. See if you can glue it back down. Encourage your spine back down to your mat. Maybe pop your heels up for a second. Maybe take a couple rocks with the knees side to side. We are just going to be switching sides. Your right hand, palm facing down, palm facing the ground. Slide it underneath the side of your back. Maybe it's close to the hip. Maybe it's under kind of the middle of your back. Closer to the shoulder, elbow pointing out to the side. And this might be as far as you go. Enjoy this place. Maybe going a little further. If you do want your knees to start to tip over, maybe they tip a little, maybe they come all the way down to the ground. But go slow. Take your time. Lastly, if you're going to be going even further, the left shoulder might lift, but checking in with your arm. The elbow is happy. The shoulder is happy. And so is the hand. Slowly making your way back the way you came. So maybe start with the left shoulder. And then the knees. And once you're laying flat on your back again, maybe you've been here the whole time. Just stay a touch longer if you'd like. But you might arch the back just slightly. Spread your fingers out wide. And then relax again. And then when you're ready to take your hand out from under you, slowly, slowly slide it out. Maybe let your palm face up and just let your arm relax for a moment. Maybe do the same thing with your left arm too. Or if you want to move, you could take a few shoulder rolls. If your back is still arching a little bit, you might bring it back down. Add a few gentle rocks of the knees, side to side. And we're going to be turning over onto our bellies. So you might just roll. You might have to flip around. But we're going to be on our tummies. And then we're going to bring our left arm out to the side. So bend your elbow. Let your palm face down again. You might spread your fingers out wide. See if you can get your elbow in line with your shoulder, straight out to the side. See if your hand can go straight up from your elbow. Nice cactus arm, nice 90-degree arm. And then you might stay on your belly, or you might start to roll onto your left side a little bit or a lot. Your knees could start to bend. Maybe they stack on top of one another. But opening up through the chest and that left arm again. Stay for just one more breath. And then come back onto your belly. If you aren't already there, slowly turn back over onto your tummy. So just something to try. We're not going to stay long, but we might try to flip our arm. So you're going to lift your elbow, slide your fingers down, and you're just kind of rotating the arm. But it's just something to try, just to see how much rotation you've got through your shoulder. So there's the same 90-degree angle. The palm is facing up. Maybe you got stuck along the way. That's okay, because we're just going to slowly, slowly make our way back and relax. Stack your palms, rest your forehead. Maybe a gentle rock side to side. We are just going to switch sides. Flip around again. The right arm coming out to the side, bending the elbow. Look at your arm. See if you can bring your elbow in line with your shoulder. Palm facing down. Hand going straight up from your elbow. And then maybe you stay on your belly. Maybe you start to roll onto your right side a little or a little more. But you can bend your knees. You can keep your legs straight wherever you feel the most comfortable, while opening up through that right arm and chest. You rolled onto your right side a little bit. Use an inhale. Gently come back onto your belly. You can skip this rotation of the arm, or you can just try it and see how it goes. So I just like to lift the arm, kind of slide the fingers down, keeping the elbow bent, the palm faces up, and maybe your elbow stays nice and high. Maybe it can come a little down towards your mat. Mine's still hovering. And then slowly just releasing, just something to try. Relax. A gentle rock of the hips side to side if you'd like. Maybe the shoulders are wiggling around as well. And we're going to find our way into child's pose. So you can push yourself up, widen your knees. If you want to lay on your pillow, if you've got a pillow, you could lay on your pillow, or just bring your forehead down, reaching your arms out in front. I'm going to grab my pillow for my forehead. You could also place your pillow all the way under your upper body. But sending the hips back towards the heels, start with your big toes together. Relax your upper body. Maybe feeling some love through your hips already. Stay here for just a little bit of time. And if you want to deepen what you feel through your hips, you could scoot your feet wider. Try to keep the hips where they are. Trying to find your heels, but the wider you take the feet, the more you might feel this through your hips. Just an option. Find a place where you're able to relax through your upper body. You're able to relax through your hips a little bit more, even though you might be feeling some sensations there. And if you did, bring some space between your feet. Just scoot your big toes back together. See if the hips can come a little closer towards your heels. See if your upper body can get a little bit heavier once your big toes are touching again. Stay for just another breath. Then let an inhale lift you up. Lift your chest. Lift your hips off of your heels. We can come into tabletop for a moment if you want to rock your hips side to side a few times. I'm going to keep my pillow at the top of my mat. We're going to start in 90-90 with our right leg in front. So you can kind of tip to the right side, sit back on your right hip a little so that you can bring your right leg forwards, kind of those 90-degree angles we were making with our arms. Now we're making with our legs. I'm a math girl. So we can lean to the right side a little bit here just to get the legs in a good place. You might start with your left knee kind of in line with your hip. Then you might decide it feels better if it comes a little further, or if it goes a little further back the other way. You might feel your hip more. So you can play around with your back leg, but the front leg doesn't really have to do too much here. We can lean back a little as well, or you can stay sitting a little taller. You might still be tipping to the right side a little bit. That's okay for now. Just see how this feels. And then if you're leaning back, we might start and try to tip forwards a little bit, kind of maybe over top of that right knee. So a little less of a lean to the right now, but trying to kind of tip forward, straight forward. And then you can stay where you are, kind of playing around with a tip forwards, maybe a lean back, or if you want to go into full pigeon, we can move there. So I'm going to slide my right foot in towards my left hip a little so that you can center yourself. Your back leg, your left leg's no longer bent. It's going to be straight back behind you. And then your front leg's going to be nice and bent so that heel can come close to that left hip. And now you're centered. Now your chest is facing forwards. Your hips are level. You're not tipping to the right side anymore. You're centered. You can stay lifted through your upper body. You can always scoot your right foot away from your hip too. And maybe you've got a nice pillow or something to rest on, to tip forwards. Maybe you can bring your head down. But let's stay for just a few more moments, whether you are in the 90-90 position with your legs, maybe you're leaning back, tipping forward, or maybe you've made your way into the full pigeon. So can we stay for another breath or two wherever you happen to be right now? To come out of this, lifting up and really rocking over to the right side so that you can free up your back leg. Keep tipping over so that maybe you end up in a seated position. You can give your knees a hug, take a couple rocks side to side if you want to, or be still. Sit in any comfy seat. If it doesn't feel good to you, hug your knees. We will be switching sides. I'm going to move my pillow to the other end of my mat. So we know where we're going now, but I'm still going to take you through all of the options. They all feel slightly different, but still giving that left leg a nice stretch. The right one too, in the 90-90 place. But you can decide that left leg will be in front now, kind of that 90-degree angle. Maybe the back leg looks somewhat like that too. A little less maybe with the knee closer to the foot. Maybe somewhere in the middle, or for more hip flexor for your right leg, you can send your knee further back. For more hip flexor, you can lean further back too. Find a place that feels good for you and your legs. You might continue to lean back. Maybe you are already tipping forwards a little bit. Feel free to move your back leg if you need to. Maybe even a little bit of a side-to-side movement with your upper body, or not. And then you can stay here, or you can try that full pigeon. So slide your left leg in a little bit. So you can kind of roll onto your shin and straighten out the back leg a little bit better. But trying to find a centered place. No longer tipping over to the left if possible. Might have to scooch side to side a couple times. And maybe you will end up bringing your upper body down. But close your eyes wherever you happen to be. Give your body a chance to enjoy the pose, to relax. Maybe forget about your body for a moment again and just take a breath. And another. Maybe we will stay for another breath or two, or even longer if you're really enjoying yourself here. But when you are ready to move and lift up and out of this, you might tip all the way over to the left side. Bring your back leg up. Just take a seat, maybe a hug of the knees, maybe a rock side to side. So we're gonna go into a forward fold next. And I'm gonna start by sitting on my pillow. Usually I have my pillow under my legs somewhere, but I'm actually gonna sit on my pillow today. So if you have something to sit on, that might be a block, that might be a pillow, you can sit on it. Try it with me. We're gonna be bringing our legs out in front. If you don't have anything to sit on, that's fine too. We're going to start with our knees bent, maybe our toes, the balls of our feet even touching the ground. Sit tall, lengthen through your spine. Maybe just close your eye. Your hands might be on your knees, but they might also be able to rest beside you. Maybe on your pillow, maybe on your mat. So keeping the spine nice and long, we're going to stay sitting tall for a little bit. Your knees might stay bent, or you might start to walk your feet further away, maybe trying to point the toes down towards your mat until you find so much length through your legs that they no longer touch. Now our hips are lifted, so we've got some space between the ground and our knees. So I want you to keep a nice little bend through your knees. So to do that, it might be easier to actually activate the ankles. So whether you're going to point your toes down or point your toes up, that is up to you. Your spine is nice and long here too. You can lengthen your legs almost all the way, but keep just a nice bend through the knees. From here, we're going to keep our ankles active, that nice little bend through our knees, and maybe you will start to tip forward. Maybe you keep going until your body stops tipping forward. Keep your ankles active. Keep the bend through the knees. See how far the chest wants to tip forward. And always nice to just close the eyes, and then you have no idea how far you've gone. Just get to feel. Just a few more moments here. Just check in that you still got a nice bend through the knees. The backs of the knees are nice and soft. If you came for a tip forwards, if you're folding forwards a little or a lot, use an inhale to slowly lift your upper body again, back to your nice long spine. If you are sitting on top of something, we're going to slide it out and we're going to put it under our knees now. So this could be a graceful transition or maybe not, but try to make it as graceful as able. Bring that pillow under your knees if you've got one, or the same thing. Just a little bend through the knees with the pillow under the knees. Now you don't have a choice, but your knees have to stay there. Taking an inhale to re-lengthen through your spine. Close your eyes. and then maybe taking another tip forwards. So the pillow just gives us a chance here to keep the knees bent without any effort, so you can relax your ankles. You can fold forward. And if you don't have a pillow, just lengthen your legs as much as feels good. Your knees can stay soft. You can relax the ankle. Stay for one more breath. And then if you're folding forward, let an inhale lift you back up, lengthening through your spine. You can pause here, stay sitting tall, or you could start to turn the chest towards the right side a little bit. Take a gentle twist. Let an inhale bring you back forwards. You can exhale as you twist to the other side, just a gentle twist. And then inhale to come back, facing forwards. If you've got a pillow of some kind under your legs, slide it out from under you. We're going to lay on our backs. So bending your knees, either planting your feet or hugging your knees towards your chest. Maybe you will take some gentle rocks side to side, giving your low back a massage. Trying to connect the entire length of your spine to your mat. You have your feet lifted up. We're going to bring them down again. I'm going to find my pillow again. We're going to be bringing our chin towards our collarbones. If you don't have a pillow, you're just going to use your hands. Bring your hands behind your head. Lift your head up. Bring your chin towards your collarbone. If you've got a pillow or block of some kind, gonna slide behind the head a little bit. You might kind of have to play around with where you're resting on your pillow so that your head is being propped up a little bit, so that your chin is finding your collarbone or close to your collarbone, and you're feeling a stretch through the back of the neck. So depending on what your pillow is like or your block, we're not going to stay here too long. And if the pillow's not working for you, you can use your hands. Just soften through your shoulders for a moment. Soften through your jaw. And then we're going to slowly bring our head back down. So moving your pillow or lowering your head slowly. If you're using your hand, rest the back of your head on your mat. Feel the back of your head pressing into your mat. And then we're going to slowly turn our chin towards the left shoulder. Maybe you will lift your head just to turn a little bit more. And if your head is feeling nice and heavy right now, you might want to pick it up. If you did lift it to turn a little more, but bring it back so that you're resting on the back of your head again. Take a second here. Feel the back of your head. Maybe it's feeling really heavy. Maybe the ground is getting really hard beneath your head. You can start to turn your chin towards your right shoulder. Maybe you just go as far as your head wants to go. Maybe you do lift up to turn a smidge more. Pausing here. If you feel like you need to pick your head up again or start to roll back onto the back of the head one more time, take a moment. And just sliding your arms out wide. Way down your shoulders. Your knees are going to fall over towards the left side for your twist. And your chin might go back over towards your right shoulder. If you have your chin over to your right shoulder, slowly bring it back up. Let your legs stay where they are. You might roll your chin towards your left shoulder, but keep your right arm where it is. Just moving the neck, the head. And then maybe one more time, you'll slowly start to roll your chin back up and perhaps to your right shoulder. If you have your chin off to one side, just start to bring it back. So you're resting on the back of your head again. Your chin is facing up. Use a big inhale to lift your legs out of your twist. Connect your low back to your mat. Pause here for a moment. Maybe a gentle rock of the knees side to side. And eventually letting your legs fall over to the right. We're here for a bit of time, so no rush. If your knees are going to the right, you might take your chin to the left to start. Maybe you will roll your chin slowly to your right shoulder. Let your left arm stay heavy, just rolling the head. And then maybe you're going to start to take it back, maybe all the way to your left shoulder again. And you can slowly roll back so that you're resting on the back of your head. Your chin is pointing up again. Let an inhale bring your legs up out of your twist. Connect your low back to your mat. You might start to bring your arms to your sides. Wherever is comfiest. You might add a few rocks to the knees, side to side. Give your low back a massage if you want to hug your knees in towards your chest. Maybe you will find happy baby, widen the knees. Maybe grab for the feet. And happy baby, start to let your legs go. Bring your feet all the way down to your mat. Before we come into Shavasana, we're going to lay on our backs, maybe with a diamond shape with the legs again, or you can keep your knees bent. If you do want to lay on something, maybe the same as we started, maybe you'll flip your pillow. So it's just underneath the middle of your back so that your head, your shoulders are resting on your mat. This is more of a back bend, so it may not be for you. And remember, you can always lay flat on your back and do what you would like with your legs. Of course, if you are ready to go into full Shavasana, you could also start to make your way there. But we've got just a few moments to maybe get into the hips a little bit more. Spine. Also give yourself a chance to relax. Even though you might be feeling a nice stretch. You are laying on something and you're so comfy. You can stay where you are for your shavasana today. But if you want to take whatever you are laying on out from under you, take your time, move as slowly as you can. Might end up under your knees if that's comfortable for you. But we're all going to lay on our backs. Maybe you're bringing your feet out wide, your legs out long. Same thing with the arms. Find a comfy place where you can relax everything. Slowing down your day for just a few more moments. Low and start to wiggle your fingers, maybe your toes, maybe a few ankle, wrist circles even. You want to reach your arms above your head for a big stretch. And then eventually rolling over to one side. And finding your way up into a comfy seat when you're ready to do so. Maybe bringing your hands together in front of your heart. Awesome practice, you guys. Thank you for joining me. Have a great weekend. I will see you guys maybe on Monday. Namaste.